After I did my last video ranking all the Marvel movies, a lot of you have been asking me what I thought of Infinity War, which I guess I fucking walked myself right into. But you know what? Since this video will only take like an hour or two to crack out, fine. I'll start with no spoilers, and then I'll veer off heavily into spoiler town. I thought it was pretty good. Marvel movies are kind of the snack food of movies. You typically go in knowing exactly what you're getting, and this one, I feel like is probably the least formulaic out of all of them. It doesn't even really have a traditional 3-act structure, and if you look at it logistically, the villain is kind of the main character of this movie. I think this one touts above the others that it's pretty interesting, and a lot of these movies cannot really say that. If you look at my list, you'll see that the movies that take themselves the most seriously usually tend to end up near the bottom. This is probably the first MCU movie that tried to go dark and serious and actually succeeded, for me at least. There's no high-concept political thriller or deep interpersonary drama falling flat on its dick because the characters are people wearing flag-themed pajamas or red-skinned robots that shoot lasers out of their heads. All of the drama comes from very base level human emotions, or high stakes risks or loss, which are kind of the only blunt extremes that this genre is equipped to unironically tackle without devolving into self-disparaging deconstruction territory. It's just a simple story about a bunch of superheroes facing a cosmic threat that may be too much for them, and you actually get to feel the full weight of it. If I were to rank this one compared to the others, it would probably go about here-ish. I'd say its biggest flaws are its high barrier to entry and the fact that it kind of feels like the middle episode to a soap opera, but overall it's definitely one of the most interesting and risky entrances to this franchise. And it's one of the hallmarks of this film series working better as a greater whole than the sum of its very unambitious parts. That said, I probably needed this movie a couple years sooner. I'm typically about 50-50 for seeing these movies in theaters versus just watching them when they come out on Netflix or whatever, and this is way too overdue to invigorate the kind of enthusiasm that would change that, but it'll definitely get my ass in the seat for the next Avengers movie. Alright, I'm about to get into spoilers, so if you think you're gonna see it after that, you might want to click the fuck off. Seriously, when I get into specifics, the stuff that I liked is very spoilery, so alright, last chance. Spoilers coming. Alright, let's go. When this movie ended, the theater that I was in had the air completely sucked out of it. It was dead. There was no clapping, there was no fucking, everybody was just like, holy shit. Children. There were children in this theater. Those things never shut up, and they were silent. In a franchise like this, that is some bold filmmaking. Seriously, if you have not seen this movie, that's a nice little lead-up spoiler, just alright, last chance. They set out to shock and awe and deliver this fucking morose, depressing ending where the bad guy wins, and they just plowed through with it. Like, if I was 10 and I saw this movie, this shit would be like lodged in my brain. It would be fucking upsetting. Thanos just snaps his fingers and then half the characters just melt. A theater full of children got to see Spider-Man fucking dissolve, and they have to live with that being the ending for at least another year. Now, I'm not naive. I know that these characters are probably gonna come back. Like, from a suspension of disbelief, get into the movie sort of perspective, I know that I'm probably not supposed to know that, but I think that this is actually the interesting part. The characters that melt, those are the characters that I actually think are safe. And the ones that are alive right now, those are the ones that I think are actually on the chopping block for the next movie. Like, I assume they're gonna beat Thanos in the next one, and then someone else is gonna put on the fucking glove, but they're only gonna unmelt people. They're not gonna be able to unkill the people that he's killed without turning back time and giving him back the glove. Like, if they unkill people to the point where they unkill Gamora and Loki, I'll be pretty pissed off, and I'll redact a little bit of the good things I've said about this movie. But overall, I think that it's pretty cool that I'm more scared for the characters that are still alive to fight Thanos than I am for the ones that disappeared into dust. So some of the shit I didn't like, when the Red Skull showed up, I kind of groaned. The big war battle scene was just one of those CGI, I don't give a shit fests. The Vision Scarlet Witch romance thing kind of fell pretty flat. And when Star-Lord freaked out and ruined the whole plan by punching Thanos when he found out that he killed Gamora, that was just fucking perfect. Eat 1,000 miles of dick. Fuck you. I know that a million shitty internet critics are gonna say some fucking stupid bullshit like,
the whole thing was Star-Lord's fault. A character didn't act completely logically and did something emotional that would fall completely in line with what their character motivation would be, and it was the wrong decision. Plot hole, plot hole. Groan, sigh, ugh, what were they thinking? If I were to write a horror movie, they'd immediately go to the police and it would be over in 15 minutes.
Also, here's my weird question. When Thanos faked out Gamora by letting her fake kill him, was he puppeting the illusion of the Collector mocking his own corpse? Or did he create a fake Collector and then it just started doing that? Either way, he didn't seem too bothered by it, so if it's the latter, did he want it to mock his corpse? Thanos is a weird or sick guy. I'm going on record. Nah, but closing thoughts, I liked it. It was a lot more good than bad, and it probably made a whole generation of children weep, and I haven't seen a super commercial movie aim to do that. At least not in my lifetime and not in theaters. So that was a fucking experience. And just for that, I would have to recommend it. Anyway, if you want to see how I liked or didn't like the rest of the fucking Marvel movies, that's a video all its own. You can click on that. Or if you want to see something that people actually put effort into, I recently released a new cartoon on my main channel, Wrath Club. You can give that a watch, and it'll hopefully make you giggle.